The fitness industry has been lying to you about how much time you actually need to transform your body. And the research proving it takes far less than you think has existed for years. Segment 1. The time excuse is not what you think it is. There is a conversation that happens in the minds of millions of genuinely busy people every single day. It goes something like this. When things slow down, when the schedule clears, when the project ends, when the kids are older, when life gets easier, then the fitness commitment begins. It never begins. Because things do not slow down. The schedule does not clear. Life does not get easier. It simply redistributes its demands from one category to another, while the window for physical investment quietly closes. Not dramatically, but incrementally, one skipped day at a time. The time objection to exercise is the most universally accepted excuse in modern life. And it is also, in light of the current scientific understanding of exercise physiology, the least defensible. Not because busy people are not genuinely busy, they are, but because the premise underlying the objection, that meaningful physical transformation requires the kind of extended, regular time commitment that busy schedules cannot accommodate, is not supported by the evidence. The human body does not require 90-minute training sessions 5 days a week to undergo significant and measurable physiological adaptation. It requires sufficient mechanical and metabolic stimulus, delivered with adequate intensity, appropriate progressive overload, and enough consistency to accumulate over time. And the minimum effective dose of that stimulus is dramatically lower than the fitness industry's business model has any interest in communicating. What follows is not a compromise workout designed to make busy people feel better about doing less. It is an evidence-based, physiologically sound training protocol built specifically around the constraints of a genuinely demanding schedule and designed to produce real, measurable results within them. Segment 2. The science of minimum effective dose training. Before presenting the protocol, understanding the physiological basis for its effectiveness transforms it from a convenience adaptation into a genuinely confident training choice. High-intensity interval training and cardiovascular adaptation. Decades of research comparing steady-state cardiovascular training with high-intensity interval training have produced one of the most consistently replicated findings in exercise science: that brief, intense intervals produce cardiovascular adaptations equivalent to or greater than significantly longer, moderate-intensity sessions in a fraction of the time. The mechanism driving this efficiency is the magnitude of physiological disruption produced by high-intensity effort. When exercise intensity approaches or reaches maximal capacity, even briefly, the cardiovascular, metabolic, and hormonal responses generated are proportionally greater than those produced by moderate continuous effort. Cardiac output reaches higher peaks. Oxygen consumption approaches its maximum. Mitochondrial biogenesis, the production of new mitochondria within muscle cells, is stimulated more powerfully. The post-exercise oxygen consumption period, during which the body continues burning calories at elevated rates during recovery, is substantially extended. A protocol consisting of 8 to 10 rounds of 20 seconds of maximal effort, followed by 10 seconds of rest, completed in under 4 minutes of active work, has been shown in peer-reviewed research to produce improvements in both aerobic and anaerobic capacity comparable to 45 minutes of moderate-intensity continuous training. The total time investment, including warm-up and cool-down, is under 15 minutes. The physiological outcome exceeds what most people achieve in 3 times the duration using conventional steady-state approaches. Compound resistance training and muscular adaptation. The physiological principle underpinning this protocol is the extraordinary efficiency of compound resistance movements. Exercises that engage multiple large muscle groups simultaneously through functional movement patterns, compared to isolation exercises targeting single muscle groups sequentially. A single set of properly executed barbell squats engages the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, hip flexors, spinal erectors, abdominals, and upper back simultaneously. A single set of push-up variations engages the pectorals, anterior deltoids, triceps, serratus anterior, and core stabilizers simultaneously. A single set of rows engages the latissimus dorsi, rhomboids, rear deltoids, biceps, and posterior chain simultaneously. 3 to 4 compound movements performed for 2 to 3 sets each with adequate intensity and full range of motion provide sufficient mechanical stimulus to every major muscle group in the body, producing meaningful hypertrophic and strength adaptation when performed consistently in under 25 minutes of actual training time. The critical variable is intensity. A set performed with a load or resistance that genuinely challenges the target muscles to their capacity within the chosen rep range produces an adaptation stimulus. A set performed at comfortable resistance with energy in reserve produces minimal stimulus regardless of the time invested. Shorter sessions with higher relative intensity consistently outperform longer sessions with moderate intensity for both strength and body composition outcomes. The hormonal response to brief intense training sessions produce a more favorable acute hormonal response than extended moderate sessions for body composition specifically, because the testosterone and growth hormone surge produced by high-intensity compound effort is significantly greater in magnitude than that produced by moderate-intensity training, while the cortisol elevation associated with prolonged training is avoided. Extended training sessions, beyond approximately 60 minutes, produce progressively greater cortisol elevation and diminishing anabolic hormone output. The hormonal environment in the final 30 minutes of a 90-minute session is substantially less favorable for muscle protein synthesis and fat oxidation than the hormonal environment of the first 30 minutes of the same session. Shorter, intense sessions compress the training stimulus into the window of most favorable hormonal response, maximizing the adaptation signal per unit of time invested. Segment 3, the protocol. This protocol requires no gym membership, no specialized equipment, and no block of time longer than 30 minutes, including warm-up and cool-down. It is designed around 3 training sessions per week, separated by at least 1 rest day, with each session targeting the full body through compound movement patterns at sufficient intensity to produce progressive adaptation. The warm-up, 5 minutes. Every session begins with 5 minutes of progressive movement preparation, not passive stretching, which does not adequately prepare the neuromuscular system for loaded movement, but dynamic movement that elevates heart rate, increases core temperature, and activates the muscle groups about to be trained. 30 seconds each of jumping jacks, hip circles, arm circles, bodyweight squats performed slowly through full range, inchworm walkouts, and lateral lunges, cycling through the sequence twice, produces a warm-up state in which the nervous system is primed, joint lubrication is enhanced, and the risk of injury from subsequent loading is substantially reduced. The resistance block, 20 minutes. 4 compound movements performed as a circuit, moving from one exercise to the next with minimal rest between exercises and 90 seconds of rest between complete circuit rounds. Movement 1 is a lower body push, bodyweight squats, jump squats for greater intensity, or single leg variations for those requiring progression. This movement primarily targets the quadriceps, glutes, and hip extensors, the largest muscle groups in the body and the most metabolically significant for both strength development and caloric expenditure. Movement 2 is an upper body push. Push-up variations scaled to the individual's current capacity, from incline push-ups for beginners to decline or archer push-ups for advanced trainees. This movement engages the primary pushing muscles of the upper body through a functional horizontal pressing pattern. Movement 3 is a lower body hinge, a Romanian deadlift pattern performed with whatever resistance is available, whether a loaded backpack, resistance bands, dumbbells, or a barbell for those with ALCA access. This movement targets the posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, and spinal erectors, the muscle group most critical for postural health, lower back resilience, and athletic power production. Movement 4 is an upper body pull, resistance band rows, inverted rows under a table, or dumbbell rows performed with controlled tempo. This movement engages the muscles of the mid and upper back that are systematically weakened and elongated by the forward flexed posture of desk-based work, making it not merely a performance exercise, but a postural correction intervention of direct practical value to desk-based professionals. 3 rounds of this circuit, 10 to 15 repetitions per movement, performed with genuine effort, addresses every major muscle group in the body within 20 minutes of active work. The metabolic finisher, 5 minutes. Following the resistance circuit, a 5-minute high-intensity interval finisher elevates heart rate to its upper range, stimulates the cardiovascular adaptations associated with interval training, and extends post-exercise oxygen consumption for the hours following the session. 20 seconds of maximum effort burpees, or mountain climbers, high knees, or jump squats for those with joint considerations, followed by 10 seconds of complete rest, repeated 8 times, constitutes a Tabata protocol that has been shown to produce acute cardiovascular stimulus equivalent to considerably longer moderate intensity sessions. The total active training time of this session is 30 minutes. The physiological stimulus it delivers, performed at genuine intensity, is comparable to significantly longer conventional gym sessions for the majority of adaptations relevant to health, body composition, and functional fitness. The consistency principle: 3 sessions per week, separated by rest days for recovery, performed consistently across 8 to 12 weeks, produces measurable improvements in cardiovascular fitness, muscular strength and endurance, body composition, resting metabolic rate, insulin sensitivity, and the full spectrum of health markers that exercise influences. The sessions do not need to be performed at the same time each day. They do not need to occur in a gym. They do not require elaborate equipment or extended preparation. They require a consistent 30-minute commitment, an honest effort during the working intervals, and the progressive challenge of making each session slightly more demanding than the last, through additional resistance, reduced rest, greater range of motion, or more technically demanding movement variations. Progressive overload, the gradual, consistent increase in training demand across sessions, is the single, non-negotiable principle of physical adaptation. The body adapts to the stimulus it receives and requires a progressively greater stimulus to continue adapting. Within this protocol, progress is achieved by adding repetitions, increasing resistance, reducing rest intervals, or advancing to more technically demanding movement variations as the current level becomes manageable. You do not have a time problem. You have a priority allocation informed by the false belief that the time required for meaningful physical transformation is beyond what your schedule can provide. It is not. 30 minutes, 3 times per week, performed with genuine intensity and progressive challenge, is sufficient to transform your cardiovascular health, rebuild your muscular strength, improve your body composition, and restore the physical vitality that busy schedules have been quietly eroding. The research is unambiguous. The protocol is accessible. The equipment requirements are minimal. The time investment is 30 minutes. The only remaining variable is the decision to treat your physical capacity as the non-negotiable foundation it is, rather than the optional addition it has been treated as for far too long. You are not too busy to be healthy. You have simply been waiting for a protocol designed around the reality of your life. This is that protocol. Start this week.